What's up, everybody? And welcome to a very special presentation here on your sports network. DJ Yoakley with you, alongside a couple of guys. If you don't know them now, you're going to know them real quick because we're going to take over your stream for the next, half hour, 45 minutes or so. From Badger boys and girls basketball programs, it's Joshua Upshire, the head boys basketball coach, and Lavelle Turnage. Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight and really rolling out the red carpet for what we think is going to be a great all-star game. Josh, I know you want to talk about this and just kind of intro what's different about this game, the meaning behind it, and things of that nature. So I give you the floor, my friend.
Yeah, DJ, thank you for having us. We appreciate you guys jumping on board with us this year as part of the Trumbull County Coaches Association, Frank Bubba All-Star Game. We're excited to announce when you and YSN had jumped on board and we asked it if we could have a type of a selection show. We thought it would be cool to announce the athletes that way in the game. So, I just want to talk about the game a little bit. Coach Bubba was very adamant, an integral part of Warren Harding basketball. Great coach who, he was an educator, battled cystic fibrosis, for a better part of his life. This game means a lot to us, a lot to the communities that it represents. We're excited for these student athletes that have been chosen for it. We're going to do some things different this year than we have in the past. I know we had talked before. At the ending, we're going to do what's called an ELOM ending now, instead of the traditional just let them play out the last few minutes of the game. We'll stop the clock and we'll set a target score, and both teams will have a chance to reach that target score. So this year we also we had a committee. Coach Turnage and I had chose a committee, 4 for the boys' side, 4 for the girls' side. We met, we discussed the candidates. There were a lot of great candidates for the game. There were 25 plus on the boys' side, 21 plus on the girls' side. We tried to cut it down to 12 players. The girls have 12. The boys, we were stuck on who we wanted to add, so we ended up with 13 overall. So we're excited to announce the players for this game, and we think it's going to be pretty good.
Well, God bless you, number one, because we are finding out quickly in our third All-Star game how troublesome it is to narrow down the field, because basketball, and I think you both would agree with me, basketball has really started to take off here in Northeast Ohio, and we're starting to get better and better and better. Not only that, but more acknowledgement. So you guys have 12, 13 on your roster for each team. We, in a separate All-Star game for YSN, have 25 on each side. Yeah. So we're trying to divvy up 50 players. So God bless you, because it's so difficult to do. And I think what's going to be funny, Josh, is seeing you try to rotate 25 players in and out of a basketball game when you do ours.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, and that was the thing we talked about. We'd love to get all the kids in there, but we're trying to get kids in and get some playing time, and it'll be difficult even with the 12 and 13 that we have chosen to get equal playing time. But, we want to have fun, but in the end, the coaches are going to end up wanting to win,
That's it. That's the toughest thing about it, boys, is you always want that dub, right? You always want that dub at the end of the day. All right. And again, not to be confused, I know there's a lot of people that are already messaging me privately on Facebook, and I'm getting emails. This is completely separate than the other All-Star games. This is the Trumbull County All-Star game, basically, and it will be streamed on YSN. So we don't want to confuse anybody with our All-Star stuff happening at the same time. Ours is on the 26th. This is on the 16th?
16th, yes, sir.
Okay.
And another thing with this, DJ, is that these are Trumbull County All-Stars only, because obviously we're based in Trumbull County with the Trumbull County Coaches Association. With our Mahoning County roster, I know I had some coaches text me from the Mahoning County. What we're going to do is, I know in years past, we just mirrored what they did for the Al Beach Classic, which is actually the night before ours. Mm-hmm. So we just mirror their Mahoning County roster just because, a lot of our coaches aren't familiar with their coaches in Mahoning County. So we just mirror their Mahoning County roster. We may tweak it here and there and add some players, out of Mahoney County. We may add a kid from Columbiana County, like JB may be added to the Mahoney County roster because, I mean, that kid is legit. So, we may add him to the Mahoney County roster, and we've done it in the past and been successful with that. So,
and again, it's going to be streamed on YSN. We'll have it for you. So if you can't make it out to the game for one reason or another, we'll have it for you. We'll have the Al Beach the night before. So it's going to be all-star season before we know it, boys. What's nice is you get to roll it out. Lavelle, I know you've been waiting for this. You've been anticipating this. So it's going to be ladies first as always. Talk to me about the all-star team that we're going to see on the floor on the 16th.
So it was, we had, like you said, we had a committee. The committee, we did a great job narrowing this roster down to 12. It was kind of really difficult with just putting 12, but we did the best we could. With the first selection of the 2022 Frank Bubba All-Star Game, we selected Alyssa Pompeo out of Holland High School. Terrific player. She does the little things. I've caught a little bit of her on a few games that I've been to. She get after it. She's one of the best players in the area that I would definitely recommend her to be one of the first selections on the team. And then with the second selection of the All-Star Game, we selected Bella Zerza out of Bristol High School. I've been coaching against Bella past 3 years. Phenomenal left-hand post player, rebounds well, decent jump shot. Does the little things around the rim. So she was definitely a given. With one of the players we wanted to participate in this All-Star Game. The third selection is one of my former players that I love out of Liberty, Jordan Banks. Jordan Banks is a phenomenal defender, gets after it, does the little things, has the will to want to win. And so that's why we, as a committee, came to the conclusion to make sure we put her on the roster. Fourth selection is Audrey Riordan out of Brookfield High School. I had the opportunity to see Audrey play past few years. She definitely feisty guard, good shooter, does the little things that you need in order to win basketball games. And so it was an honor to have her selected in the All-Star Game. Next, we have Faith Hollenbach from Warren JFK. Faith is a guard that's been well known in the area for a little bit of time now. And so, it was a great opportunity to have her participate in this All-Star Game. Next, we have Ava Howe. Ava Howe's out of Champion High School. Ava is a heck of a ball player. I've been knowing Ava, in the basketball realm for a while now, and she just gets after it. She always wants to do little things, make sure her team wins. So welcome, Ava. Next is her teammate, Lorinda Dewdrill, out of Champion also. She does the little things also. Feisty, very physical. These are the type of players you want to participate in the Elam ending now, because you want to sit down and make sure you win basketball games. Next, we have Lucy Wolford from out of McDonald High School. She is a heck of a leader. Past couple of years, she's done a heck of a job being a point guard for McDonald High School over there with Tony Matisse. And so welcome, Lucy. Michaela Powell out of Warren G. Hardin High School. She is a huge post player. She's very tall. Been a 3-year starter, I believe, at Warren G. Hardin for the past 3 years. And she somebody you want to have wanted to battle. Next is Kylie Mclean out of Highland High School, teammate of Pompeo. She's also a good teammate, great player. Willingness to win basketball games is very important, and that's what she brings. And next we have Kirsten Brewer out of Brey High School. Guard, she's a very good shooter. She's one of the reasons why they end up beating us on the season, but she's a phenomenal player that we just love to have on the team. And last we have Marissa Ventura. I'll definitely say she's one of the best guards I've ever had the opportunity to coach against. She has a grit for the game, knowledge of the game, different skill set, and having the will to win games is very, very important. So there you have it, DJ. That is the roster for Trumbull County girls All-Star team.
That's a roster, man. That is a star-studded lineup. So let me ask the question, because I know there's a lot of people that are going to ask this. How do you divvy up the teams?
Ooh.
Is there a draft? I mean, is there something like you guys first come, first pick? Like, how does that go?
That's a good question. I think once we figure out who the coaching staff is, and like we start divvying out that way, that's the best way possible. I would want to.
Is it like a guard? Because we've done a couple of these now, and people always ask how we do it. Now, typically nowadays we just have a draft, and we're going to be doing an online draft for ours the week of the game. But the problem is you can draft all guards. You know what I mean? And you can get away with that with an all-star game. But then that other team has all bigs, so you're banging bodies down low. And again, like you said, Lavelle, everybody wants to win this game. So it's going to be interesting. So I'll be interested. Maybe we'll have to incorporate that into the broadcast of how you guys ended up picking teams.
So if I can interject here.
Sure.
So what it is all these girls will be they'll be on the Trumbull County team.
Oh, and you're playing against.
And they'll play the Mahoning County team.
Gotcha. All right. I was confused. I thought it was just a Trumbull County game. All right. Now I understand.
So it's funny you say that, though, because on Monday before the Owl Beach game is actually the NAC game, our all-star game for our league. And that's what we do. We do a draft as well. Whoever the head coaches are, we'll get together. And it's funny because I'm another hat on my head here. I'm the director of that as well. So I'm in the text message, seeing the coaches draft back and forth. So it's pretty funny seeing they go back and forth on how they're drafting and stuff.
It can get wild. And that's like ours. The coaches get, as long as their player is a senior, they get their player. So
same as ours.
So we'll have 4 coaches two coaches on each bench, because we have so many players. So like Josh, you'll get your player, and then the other Josh Scott, will get his player as long as they're seniors, and they both are. So so it'll be interesting. Okay, now that we're on the same page, it's Trumbull versus Mahoning County.
Yes,
I get it. I'm in. And now we're up to speed. Josh, you want to roll out your teams?
Yes, sir. Let's do it. All right. So for us, like I said before, we had 25 plus candidates with our committee to choose from. We started with, in the years past, I know we had coaches nominate players, but this year I wanted to change it up a little bit and grab coaches from different divisions and different parts of the county who have seen all the players. So we're able to get together and make this list of the players that we thought were deserving. Like I said, there were over 25 players nominated. So without further ado, I'll announce the players for the Trumbull County team that will be part of the Frank Bubba All-Star game. First is Tyrique Ivory from Warren G. Hardin. Tyrique is a phenomenal player. If nobody has seen Tyrique Ivory play, I suggest you get a chance to see this young kid play because he is unbelievable. He is electric. Tyrique is an athlete who can shoot it, take it to the rack. He is fun to play. I personally can't wait to watch him play in this game because I think he's going to put on a show. Next is Anthony Masucci. Anthony is a kid who can absolutely score the basketball. I've seen some Howland games and he can flat out score. I enjoy watching Anthony play. He does all the little things. He's averaging 19.5 points, 9 rebounds a game. So, he gets after it. Next for the Trumbull County All-Stars will be Nate Fox from Lakeview High School. Nate's a kid who got a slow start to the season. He was a football kid who broke his wrist, I believe. When we scrimmaged Lakeview early in this season, he was unable to play due to the wrist injury. I know he had some time healing and things like that, and he got a late start to the season, but Nate's another one that can score the basketball. Next, we have Nick Church from Bristol. I've had the opportunity to coach against Nick for 4 seasons. Nick's another phenomenal basketball player, super athlete, can shoot the ball, can take it to the rack, rebound. Next, we have actually a couple of Liberty players. I haven't had the opportunity to see Liberty play a lot, but I know their record speaks for itself. They've done a good job at the MVAC, playing with some great competition. First one is DeAndre Vetters. DeAndre averaged 13 points a game, five rebounds a game. The second is James Davis. James averaged 20 points, 9 rebounds a game. Now, I do remember 2 years ago when we played Liberty, I do remember James getting after it as a sophomore. And I remember being like, James is going to be a player in a couple years. So
just crossed the 1,000-point threshold as well.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he did. He's phenomenal. I like I said, I do remember him from a couple years ago, and he could score the ball. Next is my own player, Jack Lindack. Jack's averaging 24.7 rebounds a game. A little bit about Jack, obviously, since I'm his coach, I know a little bit more about him. Jack broke the single game record of his father's, scoring 48 points in one game. Jack also broke the single game record of 10 threes in a game. He had 12 games of over 21 points, 3 games over 30 points. So there's another kid that can score the basketball. Next, we have TJ Hardin from JFK. TJ actually is one that that's interesting because TJ got hurt at the end of last year, tore his ACL in the tournament game. So he's just kind of catching up to speed now. And I think he's going to have JFK. He's going to help them make a nice tournament run here. Fun watching him play. He gets after it, has a lot of energy. Like I said, he's just kind of getting back into it in the last month or so here. But he's doing a good job of getting back on the court and helping JFK. With his length, I think they can make some noise here in the Division IV tournament up at Grand Valley. Next, we have another pair of teammates. We have Aiden Stevens from LeBray and Trayvon Drake, also from LeBray. I actually talked to Coach Kaiser this morning, and he said, with those two, it's any given night who could be the leading scorer. They take turns being the leading scorer. So, he said, I know against Springfield that Trayvon had the game to help them beat Springfield. He said a lot of nights it's Aiden. Aiden likes to defend, rebound the basketball. So both of those guys will be on the team as well. Next, we have Jordan Keller from Chalker. Jordan is a kid who is a 4-year starter at Chalker. This year he averaged 18.1 points, 9.8 rebounds. Jordan's another kid who, is a phenomenal player, shoots the ball well. He's about 6'3", 6'4", but he can step outside, shoot it, rebounds it well, finishes well at the rim. So we have Jordan Keller. And our last two we have are from Matthews High School. We have Vinnie Sharp and Dominic Greenwood. I know Vinnie Sharp surpassed the 1,500-point mark. He is Matthews' all-time leading scorer. Dominic has been a 4-year point guard for Matthews. Dominic can get to the rack, developed a nice jump shot in the last year or so. He's a kid who his stats tell it all. He has over 1,000 points, 500 assists, 500 rebounds. I mean, he does it all. So those are our 2021-2022 Trumbull County All-Stars for the Frank Bubba All-Star Game.
Unbelievable. I mean, when you look at, I shouldn't say unbelievable because we've seen it happen seemingly every night. And it's really Coach K says, love the hat. It's only one of the 30 he usually wears on a daily basis.
That's right.
Yeah. So with this game being so special, you know what I mean? Yeah. You talked about kind of, why it's special. You got to put up, and like you said, you want the dub at the end of the day. Do you feel like Trumbull has put together the roster on both sides, boys and girls, to match up with Mahoning? Because we know that Mahoning always puts up a fight. Josh, we'll ask you first.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that it's going to be great not having to coach this basketball game. Being able to sit back and watch these kids work is going to be unbelievable, because looking at these stats and seeing the players and seeing some of them play, I mean, this game's going to be well into the 100s, I believe. I mean, holy moly. Seeing like the Tyrique Ivory, the Anthony Masucci, the Jack Lindack, the Vinnie Sharp, TJ gets. I mean, these kids can flat out score. I mean, we may have some kids shooting like Steph last night, and I'm not kidding. Like, these kids can shoot the basketball. And that's what was funny talking to Coach Kaiser this morning. He's like, when I talked to him, and he's like, well, it depends on what you need. Do you need guards or bigs? And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, we have a bunch of guards. They're all guards basically. Yep. So there's not a lot of post players out here. So, but the funny thing when you said that is, I know Mahoney County is going to bring it. I mean, I know Kev. There's going to be some talent in Mahoney County too. I'm excited for this game.
They always do. All right, Lavelle, from your side, what makes this team so special?
This team is pretty loaded with shooters and 3 good bigs. So I'm excited to see how they rim protect, and we got some players that can really put this thing up in the air. Don't be surprised if Ventura may look a little Steph Curry-ish in the game during the game a little bit, put up 6 or 7 threes. Ava can shoot the heck out of the basketball. Pompeo can play. So it's like Mahoney has their hands full. I'll just say that. I won't be
clip that out.
Yep.
They will have their hands
full. Material.
Yes, and so it's going to be exciting. I'm always excited to see women's basketball, young ladies basketball displayed on a high pedestal because I always push for it. Wherever I'm at, but it's real important. They deserve as much credit as the guys, and the guys I know will put up a show, a couple of dunks and everything. But the girls will definitely get after. And I think this Trumbull County team will make a lot of noise. Might be in the close to the 80-90 range with scoring. I'll say so.
Wow. Yeah. That's some scoring, boy. That's almost 200 points combined. All right.
I'm telling you, there's gonna be shots up. That's for sure.
Yes.
We did not have the Mahoney County rosters.
Right.
We as YSN will work to get that. We'll put all of that out for you guys as kind of a guideline as to what you're expecting to see. All right, couple notes before we leave. Girls first, boys first, or how's this work?
So the girls will start at 5:30. We'll have a 3-point contest for the girls at halftime of their game.
Okay.
Again, that's for Trumbull County athletes only. So we'll have that at halftime, and the boys will start around 7-ish, I'll say. And then we'll have a 3-point contest for the boys at halftime as well. Again, that's for Trumbull County only. So.
Phenomenal. So March 16th, mark your calendars. Howland High School.
Yes, sir.
Show up, show out, and represent your high school and your county, really, because this is a showdown, and they can use your support no matter which side of the fence you're on. So it's going to be fun. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I'm going to be excited on Tuesday night. I'm going to be excited on Wednesday night because honestly, the rosters probably will look almost identical. So it's almost like a series.
So, yeah, it really is.
Oh man, this is nice.
Yep.
And then the rubber match is going to be on the 26th. The YSN All-Star game.
Yes.
Now the pressure's on, boys. Now the pressure's on. Lavelle, Josh, can't thank you guys enough for what you do for basketball and all for student athletes and basketball programs in this valley. Can't thank you enough. And to add to that, doing this All-Star game, thank you so much. On behalf of all of us fans, it is going to be fun. We'll be there with bells on. And if you can't make it out to the game again, you can watch it right here on ysnlive.com. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No, sir. I appreciate you for having us on. Thank you.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, appreciate it. Can't wait for the game. The coaches can expect some stuff from us here this coming week. So
yes,
excited for it. It'll be nerve-wracking for Coach Turnage and I leading up to it, making sure everything's in order. But once the game gets going, it's going to be. I'm telling you, if you can make it out. Yes. Wednesday, March 16th.
What's the entry?
Is it $5?
Easy.
So yeah, it'll be good.
That's awesome.
Easy peasy. So I'm like I said, once the game gets going, I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna be into it. Come out and see it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of scoring. I can guarantee that.
Love that. People love scoring. We love it on YSN. Absolutely. It gets us excited. All right, that's gonna do it for our show for for the rollout show. We'll get
Yeah.
the Mahoning County rosters, and we'll have the entire story and all the rosters on ysnlive.com here in the next day or so. So we'll get that, and that's going to do it. Again, thanks, Josh. Thanks, Lavelle. We'll see you guys next time right here on Your Sports Network.
Thank you.
YSN thanks you for watching